if we were going to do any leather making videos, yes, we are. I want to do a full video now that Tyler earlier was talking about axe sheaths. I want to do a video on making a custom axe sheath and also our ferro rod holders. We've been making some. If you check out our Instagram, there's a cool photo on there of one that we made. So we'll maybe do a video on
at Bushcraft Heroes.
Oh, the background's fallen down. Classic. Do we have a Mora knife?
Yeah.
Yes, we both have Mora knives. I have mine in like a little sort of kit in my truck that I keep just in case, not necessarily shit hitting the fan, but just in case my car breaks down or whatever, then I've got, I always have, one of those companion Mora knives.
Is that the one I've got too?
Yeah, we all have. They're
like $10, right?
$15 or something. I've bought a Mora companion for nearly every member of my family.
Yeah. They are good, Johnson.
Just as, yeah. So, one thing to really always remember, guys, is keep hydrated. Because water is life.
We'll be drinking beer, but I'm going through some weird health stuff right now.
Good night. Fire casing,
Thanks, man. Center fire casing?
Do you mean to knock holes? Tyler? You could use center fire casing? Do you mean that to... Hey, buddy!
I think he means to punch holes, maybe?
I guess that could be the only thing.
Working,
or bellows?
I don't know, man.
Let us know, Tyler, what you mean.
Yeah.
Bellows being too expensive. Yeah, well, just the fact that for $20 they're basically selling you
tube.
like a tube, like an extendable tube. So we just thought, well, where you could save $19, why not save it?
Yeah, and there is nothing wrong with them. Like they didn't melt, they didn't warp, they were totally fine. Mine was literally $1.50 from the dollar store.
But yeah, and I think we discovered that yours was slightly larger.
Yeah.
So
bigger, wider bore.
So it was good for like general keeping the fire up, but mine was better for that more like it was smaller and you could get like a more sort of focused point in certain areas. Like it was good for getting it going when it was really dying out. So
yeah, for sure.
What brand knife do you guys prefer? Well,
can you guess what it is without me flipping it over? Can you guess what it is? It's made in the USA.
Matt has this one. I have an Essie. I have a, I guess to some degree get caught up in the Essie branding of everything, but I think in time, like this Essie is great, and I actually really love it. It hasn't faulted me once, so I can't really knock it, and it does sharpen up real nice. But I think in time I would like a Bark River knife with some,
or a Falkneven.
But I think Falkneven have upped their prices.
Falkneven?
Yeah, Falkneven. They have upped their prices to ridiculous levels, and Bark River do like semi-custom, and the steel is incredible, and the edge retention from the videos I watch. Basically, Bark River seems to be the way forward. There's also the one that Joe Robinette has, the Adventure Sworn knives. I really, really like the look of those knives. But, it's all coming in time.
Yeah, we can see you, man. We can see you. I just said, Brothers of Bushcraft, he's talking about the Essie. We got you.
So, yeah, I mean, we have the sort of that range of knife right now that is kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
And I can see when I've got into this to the point where, I think the next knife would be a $300 knife, but right now that's just too much to spank on a knife, basically.
I can't afford that.
But they are beautiful looking knives. Like they're
sure.
semi-custom, the wood, whatever
They're definitely the Bob, the Tops B.O.B. and the Essie Laser Strike are really good in the $150 market, right?
Yeah. I think for that, the Moras are unbeatable for price and for accessibility and just what they can do. Like the Moras are incredible, and I love them. But when you get into the full tang, because you don't want to do too much battening and stuff with them, because you it's a nice little knife and you can use it for smaller chores. But they do make a full tang one, but it starts to get more expensive. So then you might as well go into getting a full big boy knife.
Yeah.
And then once you get really into the hobby.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too, isn't it? It's like if you're a straight beginner and you just like the idea of doing bushcraft, basically exactly where we were 2 years ago, then start off with a Mora knife. And if you go out once and use it and then never do it again, then you didn't waste much money. But if you find yourself going out, once, twice, 3 times a month, then maybe time to invest a bit more money in what?
I'm just reading Rain Dances. I got a major yen for a jackclaw myself.
What does a major yen
I don't know, but
mean?
it just makes me think of a semi or something, like, I don't know.
Have you got a semi-rain dance?
Matt Bowman! Hey,
Hey!
Bowman! How you doing, bro? Good old
What
Bowman.
what axe head weight do you use, and how long handle do you use?
It's a midweight, and mine is 28. So I can actually put it between here and my armpit, like my hand and my armpit, but it's slightly long. Like it's slightly longer than what people would recommend. I like having a bit of extra swing. Matt's is 26, which is kind of a bit more classic, and then most of the other guys that we go with have 24, which is even more so that kind of classic in between hatchet and axe kind of size. But they work really well for us, the 26.
They do.
Basically, the reason mine's 28, it was 26, is that I broke the handle while I was hunting. I didn't break it, a friend of mine did, and then he re-hung it on we couldn't find the 26-inch handle that worked, so ended up hanging it on a 28-inch. So.
But it works fine, doesn't it?
Oh,
too?
major yen, intense desire.
So we were right then.
Yeah.
Nice. That was awesome.
Brilliant.
That's awesome. But yeah, that was pretty much mostly what we used last time, was the axes. So the video
silky-
that's coming out on Friday, it's a half an hour long video, and for basically the entire video it's using the Husqvarna, the Silky Katana Boy, which I could talk about for hours. I love that thing.
Yeah.
And then our knives, and that was basically the only tools
That's all we used. Yeah. I mean, there was, to be honest, we were thinking about cranking up the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Because it was so wet and snowy.
Yeah.
We were like, you know what? It might save us time. And in the end, it's like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, it really does.
We tried starting it up. It was a little bit blunt, and then it was like, well, now we have to sharpen it, and then we're gonna have to sharpen it every so on many cuts, and then we just built a frame to cut the wood on, and it was like the Silky I think at one point we filmed for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then in that 2 minutes we had this huge pile of wood from the Silky.
It's actually, I genuinely think it's faster.
It is faster, and it was just nicer, less noise.
Yeah,
just
I
peaceful.
hate the chainsaw, to be honest. I mean, I know you need it for those planks, but it's so abrasive and just so loud and just irritating, and it just kills the whole tranquility of the trip. So yeah.
I know you guys have your camp set up, but if you didn't, how much do you think your bag would weigh for a day or so bushcrafting?
Depends if it's winter or summer.
Yeah, it really makes such a difference.
Yeah.
On our packs, or whether we're taking, because it's just the bedding. Or I guess if it's for the day, then yeah, they wouldn't be that much actually. The main thing for me now is that I end up taking little things that I want to try, like my draw knife. That if it was just. It depends on what you'd want to get done in the day.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to do some carving, then I'd be bringing all my carving stuff. But I would say
for winter.
poundage.
For winter first.
No, but it's just asking for a day or so.
Well,
So is that if it's an overnight, then
let's assume it's an overnight.
an overnight. Then yeah, the bedding is the major weight.
Yeah.
Because I pick up my bag without the bedding, and it's like, oh.
Here, I'm going to give you guys a little comparison. as to just how big my sleeping bag is. This is going to be funny.
Building a treehouse like ours on your own. Oh, here we go. So this is Matt's bedding for winter.
That is a Canadian military sleeping bag. It's 2 down-filled sleeping bags with a woolen inliner, and it's actually rated down to -50 degrees Celsius.
And it's probably like half of his pack weight. Like,
Yeah,
and
it weighs a ton, but it's so worth it.
But it makes a nice night's sleep, which when you're out in those conditions is so important. And you need. This last trip I didn't sleep very well, and it just made such a difference. I was tired and just a bit grumpy in the morning.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I'd probably say it's got to be at least 40 up to 50 pounds, right?
Yeah.
In winter. At least.
Yeah, probably 40, 50.
Yeah.
And then maybe 30.
And then
20, 30.
Maybe 25.
Depending
maybe
on
in
food
summer.
and water.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. And then in the summer, we bring a water filter, but also bring water with us more. Because in the winter, we have all the snow that we can melt. So you kind of have a bit, there are some things that you need more of and less of. And I often carry a shotgun as well for bear protection. We have bear spray, but also just one of those things.
That's relatively recent, though.
That's relatively, but I mean, it does add weight.
Yeah,
it's quite hefty.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I'm a big lad, and I don't mind carrying a bit of weight. It's not a problem for me particularly. I just subscribed to Lars on Survival Russia like last week. I really like him. I was watching a video on convex grinds because I want to put a convex grind on my knife. Just because I don't have a Scandi grind, I have a saber grind, and I just want to, for making carving and stuff easier, from what I'm reading, convex grind is better. So the guy, Trevor Stewart's asking, I am a second year into Bushcraft. I love your treehouse. Do you think, if no issue, it's possible with doing it by myself, mostly besides big lifts? Yes, I think it is doable, but there are, we did some big lifts and we were using ropes and pulley systems that, we jigged up ourselves out there.
But you need 2 men for that, for sure. I'd say if you were by yourself, you could definitely do something similar, but smaller. Just go way smaller. It doesn't need to... Our treehouse can sleep like 8 guys, probably 9 or 10 guys at a push if you use the whole width of it in the summer.
Yeah.
So for 1 guy or 2 guys, just go much smaller. And I wouldn't recommend the planking technique for something smaller either. I would go like...
I mean, the planking technique, I wouldn't even recommend. It looks wonderful what we've done.
Yeah, it does.
It looks wonderful, but it's going to split, and it's going to move, and it's going to break, and it's not practical. Really, the best thing to do would be to just do smaller logs, like 2.5 inch, 3 inch, just cut and stacked between two pillars, or something of that sort, or splitting just logs in half.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even hard for us to find enough sort of saplings to do sort of weaving and things like that. I mean, we could use...
In the winter it is.
We could use... But even in the summer, there's not that much kind of stuff. But we could use spruce boughs and stuff, but then every season, all the needles drop, and then you have bare walls again, but you'd have to just keep filling the gaps. Yeah. And the thing is, with the treehouse, we have to be careful. We were thinking of doing clay.
Yes.
But then it's all going to shift.
Well, not too much, because a few people did say, you do it like that, you've done that totally wrong. Treehouse is totally wrong. It's all going to move and it's all going to break. But I knew that would happen, and it would move, the trees would move, and if we fixed anything to the trees, that it would break apart. So the way that it's set up is, we have the bed, the floor of it is resting on supports that are tied to the trees. So as the trees move, the supports are actually just resting on top of like V-notches, so it can actually move. And then the walls, each wall is independent and is only attached to itself. It's not actually attached to the trees at all. So the walls can also move slightly.
Yeah, there is movement, and I think even that is maybe enough to break clay or stuff like that, because even the wind hitting those really nice flat surfaces that we've built is going to shift it and stuff. So we're kind of going to be up against it, but like that's kind of part of the fun, right? It's like figuring out how
it's good learning,
working with it as you go. Any hammock trips in the future?
Yeah, well, we do this annual camping trip with some friends of ours and stuff, and last time we did it, I spent like 7 days in a hammock, and that was, by the end of that, I was like, I'm never sleeping in a hammock again. I would love to go.
You don't actually have a hammock.
It was your hammock.
It's my hammock.
Yeah.
So I have a hammock. I might do a hammock trip at some point, but nothing planned.
And I'll sleep on the floor underneath him.
Yeah, he can be my bear defense. Raindance says, you went to November in Quebec, discovered that you'd forgotten your sleeping bag.
So you just slept in your clothes, I guess?
No, but like, dude, how do you even do that?
Yeah. Did you legitimately get out into the woods and then realize that you didn't have it, or did you realize you didn't have it in the car and think, well, I'll just go without it anyway?
Sod it. Do I sing to you in the morning? Yes, actually. When we're bushcrafting, I do.
Yeah, we sing a lot, both of us, and it's kind of a bit retarded, isn't it? Well, not retarded. That's
a no-no word.
It's a no-no word. Started bleeping all the swear words out of the videos. Don't know if you noticed. But we do sing in the morning, don't we? We sing to each other. I'm a bit of a singer. I can't sing to save my life, but
he can. He's all right. He can hold a tune. It's not like offending.
Sometimes it can be.
Why did you guys move to Canada? Basically, because of what is it?
It's a good question. Had a pull.
Had a serious pull.
Had a pretty strong pull. Yeah. To come here and check it out, and then once we got here, it was like, how did we live in England?
Yeah.
How do we live in England? It's so much better here.
When do you guys think you're going to finish your last wall?
Yeah, that's probably the most frequently asked question I get.
What last wall?
Yeah, it was never meant to have any more walls.
We've done all the walls. That's the open part.
The last wall, I think, that will probably get done mid this summer, towards the end of the summer, as we're preparing for winter again, because we want to get a wood burning stove in the treehouse for this winter coming. So it'll probably happen on the tail end of this summer season.
You never know,
fall, right?
We might have a few trips with more guys, and then if we've got guys that are up for doing the work, then we might just bang it out. But we have these mixed trips. Sometimes it's just me and Bo. Sometimes it's just me and Ruben. Sometimes it's me, Bo, and Ruben. And sometimes it's me, Bo, and Ruben, and like 4 other guys. Yeah. That we're taking out, because people kind of know we do this stuff and want to come out with us. We've got quite a big friendship group that are into this, and we put them to work, don't we? Yeah. But then they've all got loads of gear and they love it, so it's kind of like one of those things where we're not having to look after people or whatever. They're really totally kind of independently there as well, so that's cool. In the woods, embarrassing as so you you got all the way in there and then realised, oh man, what did you do? What did you do with that sleeping bag? Did you just wrap yourself up in clothes, or did you spoon with one of your buddies, or what happened? Favourite saw for the price? Price being an issue, then I've only ever owned Silkies. So have I. It's kind of, we just kind of read really good things about it early on when we were getting into it, and it's probably one of those things like that we got right the first time. Yeah. That hasn't happened a lot. Yeah, that's true. Like, there's been a lot of purchases that have been like, oh, yeah, I made a mistake. Yeah. Silky is an amazing brand. Has just been amazing for us. He's got the Pocket Boy. I got the Pocket Boy, which is about, the blade length is probably about this long. It's tiny. And when it's folded shut, it's so small you can just fit it in your pocket. Yeah, the Katana Boy was a relatively new purchase, and it's big. It's big. It's but it fits really nicely down the side with my axe. It's actually 26 So it's the same sort of length as the axe.
Yeah.
Which works really well because they just pack together nicely on the side of my pack.
What's the most interesting thing you've learned about bushcraft?
I think just all of it, like the general becoming more okay with being in the wild.
Yeah.
Like just being more settled in that and just getting to see nature firsthand in that way where you're really in it. You're not just kind of a tourist on a campsite on the edge of a lake.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, it's like you're really in it and you're really... Now, especially now, just how assured we are with that we can make fire in the absolute pissing rain.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I think for me, one of the biggest ones is when we first would go out, I'd walk out and I'd look at the forest and I'd see a forest and I'd be like, okay, where are we going to build our camp? And now whenever I'm walking through the woods, I'm seeing like, oh, there's tinder there. Oh, I can make char out of that. I can, make tea out of that. I'm starting to recognize resources as we're walking around rather than being oblivious to everything.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, poplar.
Yeah, and being able to recognize the trees.
Now it's really becoming more, like you say.
Yeah.
It's true. Your brain is becoming accustomed to the woods a bit more and what's available.
Yeah, for sure.
Any chance you boys are headed back to England anytime soon or Oz?
Mate, you owe us a trip to Canada.
I don't know if Bowman owes us anything.
Nah, you don't. You don't owe us anything. We owe you. We owe you our lives.
But we probably aren't going back to Australia or England anytime soon.
I'm getting married next year, man. Maybe you should come out for the wedding.
Maybe you should come out for the wedding.
This is your official invite. Have you ever
visited the Maritimes?
What's the Maritimes?
I never really knew what that is. I think that's going to be super naive on both of our parts, but it makes me feel like the seaside.
Yeah. And oranges. Makes me think of oranges. I don't know why.
Maritimes.
Yeah.
But I'll search it. You keep going.
Okay. Hi from across the pond. Hello. Thanks for joining the stream.
Hi across the pond.
No way. I was spooning with my hunting buddies. I curled up in my stuff next to the fire. At some point, someone tossed a blanket on me. Still a point of discussion. Yeah, well, if you've done that, you're never going to live it down. That is going to be your thing for the rest of the time you know those guys. They'll call you Bag for short. All right, Bags?
That's me.
Where's your bag? The stream's cut out again. Oh no, it's resumed.
The Maritimes, also called the Maritime Provinces or the Canadian Maritimes, is a region of eastern Canada consisting of Prince Edward Island. No.
We have never been to the
Maritimes.
And I know what the Maritimes is because Bo just told me.
So Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick.
Right.
No, we'd love to though. We'd love to.
We would love to. Where are we?
Sorry, yeah, we noobed out on the Maritimes there. Like, we are little English boys that don't necessarily know everything.
Prefer folding or triangle saw. But buck saw basically.
Yeah.
Folding saw.
Folding
every time.
For us, yeah. I mean, I have used Eric, our friend, has one of those like fold out buck saws.
Yeah.
And it works great, but it's just a little bit more hassle.
Yeah. Every time you want to use it, you have to put it together.
Well, I guess when you're at camp, you can leave it out and put together. So we just ended up.
But what if you're in the woods and a piece of firewood runs out at you?
Yeah.
You'd have to assemble it.
You'd have to get it out.
It wouldn't be
actually
to get Mila Kunis for a night.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, you fuck.
Only saw I own is a hacksaw.
Back up. Okay.
The only saw I own is a hacksaw. Oh well, you can cut some metal then.
Holy moly, what the hell's going on?
Have you ever had any bear cougar scares? Says Chris J. We haven't, actually.
We've seen plenty of tracks.
We've actually been pretty lucky.
But we've never actually come face to face with one, which I'm quite happy about.
I think it would make great YouTube footage.
I've actually vowed to myself, if we ever see and have that encounter, that I will try and film it at the risk of my own life.
No.
I'll just stand behind Bo and then film it.
I'll just stand there with the shotty.
Yeah.
And hopefully it just goes away.
What's a good camera to buy? The iPhone. We film all of our videos on the iPhone. I would love to invest some money into a nice DSLR, get some nice footage, but can't afford it, so we shoot everything on an iPhone.
Yeah, sorry about the feed, guys. We don't really know what's going on. Like, it's been a bit kind of...
It's just come back. It's healthy again.
Yeah, I know. I just someone said it's a bit choppy, so I'm saying yeah.
Yeah.
We are not in control of it.
I'm off to Hong Kong. He's off to Hong Kong. Hey, Matt Livingston.
Hey, Matt. How long are you in Hong Kong, bud? Until August next year?
Come to the US. Would love to have a bat show.
A bacco. Yeah, they're good. It's
Yeah, I would love to. One of the things on my bucket list, my YouTube bucket list, is to. I wanna do like a meetup with some of the other YouTubers, bushcraft YouTubers in Canada. I don't know how many of them there are, apart from Joe Robinette. He's the only one I know is definitely from Canada.
I think Doug Outdoors.
Doug Outdoors
and My Self-Reliance.
My Self-Reliance for sure. But I don't know. I messaged Joe. I messaged Joe on YouTube and said, "Is there any meetups? Let me know. Love to do something," but I never heard anything back.
But he was on our feed earlier, and now he's buggered off.
I should have said that. I should have said it to him then.
But there is a bushcraft meet with Morse Kachansky in August.
Yes, which I want to go to.
That is at the same time as our annual trip. That we go.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's a pain in the butt.
We'll see. Hey, Josh. I am me, or me I am. Hi, Josh. It's glad that you are you.
Oh, Rain Dance, of course. Sorry, mate. I forgot.
Rain Dance is obviously in Canada.
Well, you're in Ontario, right? Rain Dance? Yeah.
Rain Dance Bushcraft is in Canada. Brilliant. I heard he's pretty good. He, apart from that time that he forgot his sleeping bag when he went on that hiking trip.
Yeah. Quebec, right, nice.
That's a bit of a mission.
Yeah, that is a bit of a mission. But I would do it. I would go to Ontario or wherever it is, do a YouTube meet and greet. That would be super awesome. I'm trying to convince Scrambled O to come to Canada and do a collab.
He did come up here and did
I know, but I'm trying to convince him.
Have you actually?
I literally wrote him a message and he wrote me back and said, "Thanks, Matt. Let me know where you are in the thing and whatever." And yeah, so if any of you guys want to go and spam up Scrambled O and be like, "Do a collab with Bushcraft Heroes,"
I think it would be a great collab.
Yeah, wouldn't it though? Because he's hilarious, man.
I just want to do the intro with him. That's all I want to do. I just want to be like,
Bushcraft Heroes, checking in.
But do it for his video. I would just want to be, oh god, it would be so fun. Folks. Love him. What a legend.
Yeah.
You guys and the other would be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I think she means Scrambled O.
Do you mean Scrambled O?
I think she means...
I think you're right. I think we would be fan.
Might be too much. It might just be like way too intense.
Did you guys make your own first aid kit?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
I would show it to you, but it would be the most boring live stream in the history of live streams.
No, but I mean the answer is...
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Done.
I don't believe in pre-made first aid kits. I think it's... you should know...
Oh, not other. Yeah, sweet. Sorry.
Scrambled other. Yeah, I think making your own first aid kit is essential because then you know exactly what's in there, and often those pre-made ones don't include stuff that you might well need. So I like to know what's in mine.
I'm a big supporter. Thanks, Brave Outdoors.
That's
awesome.
Very sweet of you to say.
You hit Joe with a message and tell him that he should get back on our live stream like he was earlier.
Yeah, or hit Joe with a message and tell him to reply to our message about doing a collab. Because I have requested a collab with Joe Robinette as well, but I haven't heard anything back.
Yeah. No, I think he's a busy boy, to be honest. And
his channel's blown up insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, fair play.
He earned it. To be fair, I'm not saying we earned it.
We love Joe. Like, to be fair, he's great.
He went 50 videos in a year or something. That's basically bushcrafting every single weekend of the year. I mean, that's commitment to the bushcraft cause, man.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And
would be lovely to meet up with some other guys as well. Like, we've got some other channels that we... what else? What have I been watching? Let me... You answer another question and I'll look into what some other channels that I've been looking at.
Is Hunting Pros based in Canada as well? Be good to know. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I would love to meet up with Scrambled Out. It would be intense though, wouldn't it? It's like constant just jokes flying left, right, and centre.
I think he's actually pretty gets into it too.
Yeah.
But the jokes is probably one of our favourite things why we watch him, right?
Yeah. Well, I find him really personable as well.
No, that's
like,
he's friendly.
I think he seems like a really genuine and nice guy. So, yeah, for sure. He's in Nova Scotia. Matt, do you have experience in filmmaking? My filmmaking career started when we started making YouTube videos. And in my never-ending quest to try and produce higher quality content for you guys, that's how I learn. I also watch a lot of YouTube videos, and so I try and take the best bits out of everything that I watch and incorporate it into our channel to try and increase the quality of the content that we produce. But yeah, no official background in it, no.
See you later, Josh.
Peace.
Get on with your stuff.
What does that mean, my stuff?
I don't know, he said, I don't get my stuff done because...
my stuff done.
Steady now.
Will you guys make a video of making a shelter in one night using just a tarp? We have done a video on that. It's called Winter Camping Overnighter. It's in our videos. It's got like a fluorescent blue...
he says using just a tarp, but we built like stuff with wood.
Yeah, but it is primarily just a tarp over us,
but then we used stuff around us to build sides and a wall.
Yeah, pretty sure you didn't sleep very well on that trip either.
Yeah, but that was because we knew there was a cougar prowling around on that land, and I was on the outside of the shelter, and yeah. Sketch.
I'm 13 and big into scouting and hunting, bushcraft and lots more. Currently fanboying, I guess. Well, thanks, man.
We all have to fanboy for a while.
We have our fanboys. You fanboy up to us. We fanboy up to the people above us, and they fanboy up to whoever they fanboy to, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. It's all about the fanboy.
I'm just kidding. No, it's awesome to have you. That's
no, but you know, as soon as you're a bit older, you can set up your own channel, and then.
Yeah, and good on you for getting into this stuff early. I mean, if you're into this at your age. By the time you're my age, you'll be a regular Ray Mears, man. You'll be a
regular Ray Mears.
Regular Ray Mears. You'll be a pro. You'll be probably teaching people how to survive in the outdoors and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Start saving your money now.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Shout outs to you then, Rockstar 128. That's very sweet. I do put an inordinate amount of work into these videos. I do spend a lot of time trying to make them as good as I can. So
I just show up.
Yeah. Bo's a presenter, but he's better at presenting than I am. So you know, it goes both ways.
He just needed a mate, and here I am.
I find it hard to fall asleep when bushcrafting shelter. Any suggestions on how to sleep? Yeah, I got a bit of advice for you.
Vodka.
No, don't do that.
No, don't do that.
There's a difference between being alert and being scared. And like, I find that definitely like the first few times I'd be actively scared that stuff was going to come and like eat me in my sleep. Not in a good way.
That's why we built a shelter 12 foot in the air.
Yeah. But
so that you can no sleep.
Yeah, to be fair.
And then
I'm not afraid anymore.
But then I don't sleep well because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. But just kind of being rested, even though you're alert, so kind of lying there, you know you're not going to be totally in a deep sleep, but just try and relax and get some rest.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually surprising, like I often think that I am not sleeping very well because it's kind of intermittent, but I do actually sleep. quite a lot.
For sure.
But it's like you wake up because you might hear, your subconscious isn't quite resting, and yeah.
Take it easy, Bowman.
See you later, buddy. Nice to hear from you. Let us know if you can come out in the summer.
I love that nothing better than a fat survivalist. Ray is awesome.
Ray is awesome. Like, he is truly the reason we got into it.
Yeah. He's probably the first, but my first introduction to bushcraft was watching Ray Mears.
Yeah.
Whittling something or...
I just love his energy.
Yeah. He's so chill, isn't
He's just so chill.
So chill.
And just like
just sits there
sweet.
in his little hat.
Yeah. Well, he's often just not even wearing a hat. His little mousy brown blonde hair. Sweet guy. Here we go, another 13. Love your vids so much.
Thanks, A-Game. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
It's really sweet for you guys to say that stuff.
Me and him are what? Go up to Tyler? Where did this begin?
Yes.
He is in Canada.
Yes. I don't. Hunting Pros is getting into bushcraft. Is in. Yeah.
Ah, okay, cool.
You're planning a camp out with a tent. My tent, Arctic tent. That would be pretty cool. I haven't even done a hot tent yet. He has, but I haven't. I would love to do a hot tent with a wood stove.
Yeah, I have a canvas tent and a homemade wood stove. Yeah, it's really fun. I put some pictures on Instagram of the tent and that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Wild Food series, that Ray Mears Wild Food series. Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I think we're not quite at that level.
Streams cut out. Just every time we get to like above 20, it cuts out.
Watching, are we back in?
We are, but it's low. It's going to be super HD.
Sorry guys for the sketchy. The more people we get watching, it seems like the less we...
I think we're back though.
Okay.
Where were we? What were we on? Wild Food series.
Yeah. I mean, we are trying to learn more wild food stuff, so we know the obvious things, like, the dandelion, and we have raspberries growing, and there's nettles, and so we could do the obvious stuff for sure, and like fishing and whatever, but there are definitely more things out there that we could learn. That's one thing that I think I would seriously like to up my game on.
Yeah, for
is
sure.
The wild edibles.
Yeah, I think that's something we both need to up our game on, for sure. What's next after the treehouse?
Probably. Well, we wanted to try and do like a roughed out log cabin.
Yeah.
But whether we do, because we can only use poplar and.
It would probably be like a hillbilly style.
It would be kind
cabin.
Of fun.
Yeah.
To do.
Because we've always wanted to do a log cabin and never been able to do it. So.
Yeah.
Even if it was a roughneck one, that would be kind of cool.
Put a wood stove in a treehouse.
Yes, that's what's happening.
Yeah, probably on the bottom level though. I'm not too keen about adding more weight and flammable substances or anything up in that top half of the treehouse particularly. Because we'd probably want to put like stones down.
Yeah. And
then that's just adding more weight onto the structure and yeah, down on the bottom half would be good. So we'll see. We're gonna maybe make another one. I off Kijiji I bought a propane tank that had been converted into a wood stove and then did a little bit of tinkering on it myself. But we're gonna build. Ruben has one, so we're gonna maybe weld out a bigger one to put in the treehouse. So. Yeah, it is good to see the young guys on here, Rain Dance, for sure. Like, it's amazing. And anything to get the young uns out into the woods and learning skills like what we're trying to do is fantastic in my opinion. Just getting gear for my channel. Ooh. Yeah. Well, try not to split your money too many ways, mate. What's the funniest What's the funniest bushcraft experience you've had? If only we were bushcrafting. Funniest bushcraft experience we've had. I don't know. We were telling jokes,
Singing.
Yeah.
There's a hilarious moment that we had on our last trip that was going to be in the video, but we've decided after a little contemplation we're going to cut it out because it's
a little bit coarse.
It's got some salty language, and even though I bleeped it and made it hilarious, we thought, well, it's not totally family friendly. So,
and seeing as we've got all these young'uns that are interested in watching our videos, maybe it's not the best advice.
Gonna keep it clean.
But we like making up silly words to songs and adding bushcraft into the songs. That's always fun.
Yeah.
So sing a song and then figure out where you can fit the word bushcraft into it.
Yeah.
That's a good little game to play, and we always laugh about that when we're out there.
That's true. It's going to be the intro for the next one. If any of you can guess what song we're starting the next episode of Bushcraft Heroes with,
I'll send you a Moraner.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, if they guessed it, that would be pretty impressive.
It would be.
I got into bushcraft from Joe. He has given advice on starting YouTube channel, but what's your advice? I want to create a maritime bushcraft channel. I would love to get advice. I get asked this actually from a lot of people not on YouTube, but that I know who are interested in starting YouTube channels. I would say advice. Okay. Upload consistently. So if you can only go out once a month, make sure you go out once a month and you release a video on the same time every month. That's the first piece of advice. Second piece of advice, do everything to the highest quality that you are able to do. So if you only have an iPhone, like we only have iPhones to film, make sure you really try and get smooth stuff and don't do all this business. Like, I know it's hard.
Tripod is the way.
Get a tripod for sure. Like, you need to get a tripod for stationary shots. Don't film everything POV because it's just way too shaky.
B-roll.
B-roll is a big one we've learnt this year. So I found the best way. So say we're talking to you right now about a knife. I would film Bo talking about the knife, and I would just film his head talking about the knife. So he's like, yeah, mate, check out this knife. It's super cool. It's got a 8/16 of an inch, mate. It's got a Scandi grind, blah. And then once she's finished talking, then take your camera, get the knife, do some close-up pans of the knife, do some close-ups of the, like real close-up like this, like of the logo and stuff. And then as Bo's talking in post-production, you can overlay the B-roll over the top of the main A-roll, and then it just keeps it interesting. But yeah, and also just be yourself. Like, don't try and be anything that you're not. Just be yourself and cut. Like, cut as much waffle as you can, because tell you what, we waffle on. For a half an hour video, there's probably actually like an hour's worth of footage or more than that.
He says we waffle, but we're actually just talking.
Pancake me.
We're actually just talking, and that's not really applicable for a video to go on YouTube. So it's you have to just be pretty militant with your editing.
Yeah. So I hope that answers your question, man.
Can you bring me some of that oversalted jerky? Yeah, I ate it all. Sorry, bud.
Really did. Yeah. It was
It was this thing where I was going off a recipe for like long cure, for like keeping it for months and months, and really it's like we made enough jerky for it. It was just a silly mistake, and then I made some more that was just like actually flavored and nice, and we ended up just frying it because we didn't have time. It was so wet, but it was just one of those things where I kind of got caught up in this sort of old school traditional recipe of like salting it and like leaving it so it would last for ages, and really shouldn't have done that because we were going to eat it all in that session.
Yeah, totally. But then you brought some last time, but we didn't have enough time. But
yeah,
we'll do another jerk session for sure next time we go out.
Cool, Trevor. Well, we hit us with it when you upload, and yeah, we'd love to see it.
Nice. Yeah. Send me a private message. Send us a private message with the link to your video.
What else do you like to do in your free time other than bushcraft?
Where's that? Oh yeah, A game. That is a good question.
We don't play video games anymore.
Nope. I tried to play Assassin's Creed the other day. Lasted about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I just haven't got the time. So actually what I do now is I end up carving something or making something out of leather or sewing something or...
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of leather work.
I generally kind of do something that's not too taxing and that I sort of end up watching Netflix or something while I'm doing it. We have we both have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So often our spare time is the evenings and you come home and you're showered and had dinner and then it's like, well...
Watch a bit
of telly and...
Well, to be fair, that for me is mostly editing YouTube videos because the way that we can, because we work and stuff, we can only go out basically once a month. That's what we committed to at the beginning of the year. We'll go out once a month and we'll definitely do that every month. We'll go out for at least one night. So we go out and I basically run around like a madman filming everything that we do basically for the entire trip. Everything I'm filming, and then I'll come home and try and get at least one full bushcraft video, and then a bushcraft breakfast video, and then any reviews or little techniques and stuff like that. So I spend a fair bit of time editing videos too in the evenings, and planning the next month's videos.
Someone's asking us about the Snow Peak, and I believe that is a titanium.
Ah, nice. Ruben's got that one, I think. Oh no, maybe not.
Basically,
we use the GSIs.
Yeah, we haven't been able to afford titanium yet. We just use stainless steel at the moment.
Yes.
As much as I'm sure.
How much are they?
$45.
It's not bad. I mean, the Stanley was
$12.
right.
Well, the Stanley Cookpot was
actually $25, and then the GSI
was 12.
So then for the same thing, but it's a pot, so it's comparable.
But lighter, titanium. Right? Titanium's lighter, right?
So it looks good to me. I mean, we haven't tried them, but they look good to me. But maybe if you get one, let us know what you think about it.
Favorite food in the woods? Here's what I always take. I'll always take a variety of stuff, but there's two things that I take on every single bushcraft trip. They're my solid go-tos. One of them is a ribeye steak. I always take a ribeye steak because you can chuck it down on the charcoal and it is just so good after a long hard day, especially winter, a long hard day's work. Oh man, a ribeye steak on the
coals is pretty much the one.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I always take is it's the Uncle Ben's instant rice. It's like already it's pre-cooked rice, so you basically just have to heat it up. So even if it freezes in winter, you just chuck it in a frying pan on the coals, and in a couple of minutes it's good to eat. And they have a shelf life of a couple of years. They're really good, and they're cheap-ish as well.
Yeah.
So I always take them because they're just easy
and they par well with everything.
And when you fry them in a pan, they don't stick. And we have non-stick frying pans out there because I don't like having to do any kind of washing up whatsoever when we're out there. And because there's predators, we can't. If we do anything that requires washing up, it has to be done immediately afterwards and away from the camp. So I generally won't eat anything that needs to be washed up.
So yeah, we just wipe it down and then throw everything on the fire, and then that covers everything up.
Exactly.
So, have you done any backpacking? Not really. We haven't done much backpacking.
As in hiking?
Yeah, but like where you go for days with a backpack and like camp on the trail and stuff.
No, not really.
I think it's something we would like to do.
I would love to do that.
We just haven't. I think we put all of our time now that we have set aside for that kind of thing into doing our trips to the land.
Exactly.
Getting things done there.
What's your background / jobs in terms of why you love the woods? I personally just finished a degree in forestry, so I'm a forester, so that's why I'm in love with the woods.
Alright, do you want me to go?
Yeah.
for me, I grew up with two grandfathers that were very, from both sides, like my mum's dad and my dad's dad. My dad's dad was a gamekeeper in England, and I was just always so fascinated when I would go and visit him with learning from him and being able to shoot rifles and learn about plants. And so I think there's something in my ancestry there that just, whenever I'm in the woods, just really takes me into that kind of, there's something there. And then my other grandfather was like a boat builder, carpenter, fisherman, so whenever I would go and visit him, we would be building bows and arrows and swords and going fishing, and that just kind of pairs up with the whole thing. And I think I always wanted to live in the country and always lived in the city, so it's kind of one of those things where it's like you kind of want what you don't have. And yeah, but that's how I think that's me, really, why I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And my job now is kind of, not really bushcrafty, but I do work with my hands. I'm a caretaker and building and grounds sort of caretaker, so I'm working in the garden and doing things like that.
Yeah.
And that's enjoyable as well. We have a lot of different trees and plants in our garden that I'm slowly learning all of the North American things, but very slowly, but it's getting there.
Yeah. And I grew up in the country. I actually, grew up in the countryside. My mother was killed by a hunter when I was young. So I was forced, no, I'm just kidding, that's Bambi. I lived in the countryside when I was young, and I did everything I could to get out of the countryside after about the age of 12 or so. But prior to that, I'd spent a lot of time building forts and dens and blah 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 in the woods and stuff. And then I guess my sort of teenage years happened. I was a carpenter for 10, 15 years, and then gradually wheedled my way into the design world, and now I'm a web developer, graphic designer, all that sort of stuff. And it came back around, didn't it? And me and Bo would often talk like, yeah, I'd love to go and do some like...
Because we were actually playing music together in Bristol in England for 5 years.
Yeah.
And we would sort of play music and then sometimes watch like Ray Mears and videos like that and just be like, God, I wish we could do that. And there was just no application for it where we were from, and we didn't have, being musicians, we didn't have money to go and get stuff. And in England, you can't own a knife over half an inch long and without getting like in trouble, and you can't do, it's just not as much. I mean, you can own air rifles and stuff, and you can.
We lived in the city.
If you have private land to go to, but we just weren't in the circles at that point,
or in the headspace, probably.
I don't think
to
so.
actually get out there.
So yeah, it's all.
So
when
we came to Canada, it was like, let's just actually do it.
Yeah.
We went out for a day trip, didn't we? And we took like 70-pound backpacks full of all this survival gear just for a day trip, just to get out in it and stuff. But yeah, so that's a bit of background about us. We actually met in Australia on like a gap year.
A gap year in Australia.
Like 10 years ago.
10 years. 10 years ago.
And we've been best friends ever since. Where did you get those coffee makers from the Treehouse video? Amazon. One of them, my one, is called the Esbit Espresso Maker. You can find it on Amazon. In fact, if you go to any of my videos, there's affiliate links in the bottom, and one of them will say Esbit Coffee Maker. And then Ruben's one is the GSI Espresso Maker, which is also very cool. A little bit less robust, I would say, probably, because you can't put it straight on the fire, but still cool. But yeah, they're in video descriptions.
Have you ever used a Dutch oven or cast iron? Yes, I own one, and there is a picture on our Instagram, which is
at Bushcraft Heroes.
Bushcraft Heroes on Instagram, and you can
link right there.
Is it?
Well, it says at Bushcraft Heroes.
Right, okay. So yeah, you can see I put a duck in a Dutch oven and cooked it, and it was great. So yeah, I actually love cast iron stuff. So. Okay, where else are we?
Hello, Jason.
Hello, Northern Alberta.
From Northern Alberta.
I know, just messing. My first summer. Yeah, sweet.
Carpentry is. I think it definitely helps with some of our projects for having a background in carpentry.
Yeah, I mean, I do, some as well. So.
It is definitely, I think, useful.
It's really good to work with wood. And then when you get out into the bush and you'll see in some videos that are coming soon. Mm-hmm. We're making some cool stuff.
Yeah. I'm new to making videos, and I'm not looking to go viral, I think. Just show Nova Scotia and New Brunswick landscape and hear people like you and her people like you to visit. How do toy guys edit your videos? I use Final Cut Pro X to edit my videos.
Hey, Joe. Welcome back.
Hey, Joe Robinette's in the house, everybody. Spam comment him.
You're saying Final
Cut Pro X. That's what I use.
Yeah.
That's what I use. So, Joe, what's going on, man? Write me back. I sent you a PM. I'm sure you've got 4,000 in your inbox. But we want to do a collab. And I would love to do a collab with you. I think it would be awesome fun. Yeah. Or let me know if there's any bushcraft meetups.
We know how you love to drive for like 40 hours.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'll meet you in the middle.
You can drive like 30 hours and we'll drive 10 or something.
Yeah. Sounds fair. Oklahoma.
Here's a spam call.
Rain Dan's got the back, man.
Yeah. Right. I'm sorry.
I'm just teasing, man. It's all good. It's
Joe.
all good. It's all good. If you ever feel up for doing a collab or like just going out, starting from scratch, building a shelter and doing a couple of overnights or whatever, hit me up with a PM because I would love to do that.
Oh, what have I done? I messed it up, Matty.
There you go. You're alright, mate. You weren't built for computers.
I wasn't built for computers. So where are we on the things? There was someone saying Amazon is good for beginners. It's true. Like, I think most of my beginning stuff I got from Amazon.
Yeah, it did.
But that said, I mean, I also cannot say enough for actually doing more research before. It's like that whole carpentry thing that we've been talking about with the measure twice, cut once thing. Mm-hmm. It's like I always used to see a piece of gear, get so excited and buy it, and then like 3 weeks later be like, oh, I should have got that.
Yeah.
And so really do your research, watch the videos, watch YouTube, really find out, like, don't just get into a hype of something
and avoid, like the plague, the survival gadgets.
Yeah.
The chainsaw, hand chainsaw, and just don't buy into any of that stuff. Get yourself if you're just getting into it, get yourself a nice a Mora knife, $15, $20.
Yeah, the companion to get you started.
Yeah, companion. Get yourself a little fire steel. Fire steel doesn't even have to be that great. I mean, mine on my Hunter was $5 on Amazon, and it's a beast, man. It's an absolute beast. It's never failed to start fire for me yet. And a little hatchet as well. I had a little Est-wing hatchet that my brother got me.
It did you so well for so long.
It lasted me like 2 years, and it's machined steel, so it just retains its edge like a beast.
But that being said, like, I would say actually to go and get the sort of from your armpit out length axe. If you're gonna go and spend the money off the bat, just do that.
I think the Husqvarnas are only like 85, right? Or something.
Or there are some other ones. I think even Pathfinder might be bringing out some that are. I don't know about the price on them actually, but there are some more reasonable things coming out now that you can find. Yeah. This whole bushcraft thing is kind of really taking off. I'm sure Joe, I think he was saying in one of your videos recently, like how when you started off it was like just you and like that was it. Like
it was you and Survival Lily.
Yeah, and MCQ maybe.
And MCQ Bushcraft, yeah.
And
those were the original ones.
And I think now it's actually turning in, and it's such a wonderful community.
Oh, it's great.
And we can all learn from each other and like really use YouTube and find the people that really know what they're on about, and that's what we're doing. I mean, really that's what we're doing is we're just, big YouTube fans and trying to find our way in the bushcraft world.
Yes, it is inspirational. Inspirational.
So, Right, so
It is literally. I love it that Joe is in the chat, but now everyone's just like, "Hey Joe, man, what's up, man? What's going on?" Joe Robinette.
you're too popular for your own good, mate. For our own good.
Yeah. Survival Lily is back in action. Yeah, she was out for a little while there because she busted up her arm. But she is back.
Why did we come over to Canada? We spoke about this earlier, but basically we had a bit of a pull to come over. My mum moved here and got married here, and I came over to visit them and then just fell in love with the place, really.
And then he called me on New Year's and was like, "Hey man," and I was like, "How's it going?" And he looked so happy. I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go out there and see what it's all about."
And then we just never left.
Never left, man. I got my permanent residency like 2 years ago.
I'm still waiting on mine.
Get Bo his permanent residency.
It's coming. It's on its way.
Citizenship, yeah. But we love Canada, man. I love it so much.
It's it's crazy how much better it is here, how much more opportunity there is here. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Two little English hobbits in the Canadian outdoors.
I'm planning a trip to Calgary, Edmonton. Would you like to take a subscriber to the woods? Are you the kind of guy that likes other guys
in the woods? No, that would be totally fine.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I guess that's kind of one of those things where you kind of have to be pretty self-reliant with all your own gear, and we don't like taking people out that might hurt themselves.
Yeah, we have taken people out before, and we gave everyone got a list of stuff that they had to have to bring
Which
out.
I'm sure you probably do have stuff, but it's just like one of those things, you have to take care of that.
Yeah. Well, next time you're around, man, just send me a PM.
Yeah.
We'll see if we sort something out. Sleeping bags. Which one do you recommend?
Well,
and before we get into that, quick shout out. Safe to the MI Woodsman. You are a legend.
Yes.
You were promoting
John.
our channel when we had 10 subs. So just want to say a quick shout out to you, man. That's awesome.
John, you're a legend.
What sleeping bags? You've got quite a nice one.
I have a mummy bag from it's like a -18 mummy bag from Campus Village. I got it as a gift. I also have a Canadian military sleeping bag, but it's quite hefty. So I end up using this +15 sort of inner bag that's like this big.
It's like an inliner,
like
right?
an inner liner, and my -18 mummy bag, and I can't remember the brand of it right now. Damn. But and then I put a bivy sack over all of it so that it doesn't get damaged or whatever, and that has done me amazingly through really, really cold nights. So, but Matt has got the.
I've got the Canadian military sleeping bag, and I just love that thing, man.
It's a 3-piece, right?
Yeah, it's 3-piece. So it has a big puffy outer bag, and then it has a slightly smaller inner bag, and then it has a woolen inliner inside of that, and it's rated to -50 degrees C. So even when it's like -35, -40 pushing, I'm still pretty comfy in it, as long as I warm myself up by the fire before I get into it.
What are your gun laws like in Canada? Well, basically, I think they're kind of pretty switched on. In a way, it's like, I can see it's good that you can own them here, but you have to go through, police checks, and you have to, actually go through some kind of regulation stuff to get them, and that's great.
And do a test.
And you can't have fully automatic. I mean, who really needs a fully automatic rifle? I mean, I'm sure they're great fun. But in the UK, you can't even own a normal rifle without going through so many loops and hoops and jumps and whatever. So it's just nice to be able to have a hunting rifle, or to have a defense rifle for bears or whatever.
Shotgun.
If I'm sat in a tree stand or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I do really think that it should be regulated, and you shouldn't just be able to, wander off the street and buy a gun. That is
going to spark some stuff in the chat for all the American people watching.
That's just for me. Just because I know I've seen in my life traveling what people can be like,
Yeah.
And people can just be, I mean, mostly people are wonderful and that's great, but there are some absolute nutters out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, for the sake of doing a little test and getting checked that you haven't been being naughty for the last 10 years is like, well, all right, yeah, fair enough.
And doing a little course so you know how to use them. Yeah. It was pretty basic, man. It's like, do a test. Should you shoot your gun at a person? No. Great.
Passed. See you later.
Yeah, and then no, just not handling them and stuff. But yeah, it was. Mine's in the post. Got my license in the post, so.
Joe, did I say something wrong?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What did he say, Joe? What did he say, Joe? What did he say?
Probably the gun stuff. But I mean,
yeah. We're gonna lose like 500 subs.
It's not. I'm not saying that it's bad in America. I'm just saying I'm glad living here.
Yeah,
that it's the way.
I'm glad that it's licensed, like, you know, and regulated here. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Love you guys are getting a solid following. Definitely bring a great deal of humour to what you do. Well, thank you very much, man. It's
probably should have not. Yeah.
It's definitely fun for us. We have a lot of fun, and it's great having you guys along with us. So thank you very much for the comment.
Dun dun dun.
I think you know.
Yeah.
You done goofed.
You don't.
It's
alright. I think, you know, it's okay to have a personal opinion, and I'm not saying anyone's wrong. And I'd like to have my opinion on that. I don't think it's bad.
For what it's worth, I'm licensed for restricted and non-restricted. I have a zero problem with the laws here. Quebec has an extra layer of legality that's a bit of a chore, but, you know. Yeah,
it's all good.
I think it's all good. Probably should go to bed, but you're a good excuse to give to my teacher.
Yeah.
Well, why were you up so late?
Good night, mate.
Yeah, go to bed, man. School's important.
Where's your hat? Where is my hat?
I think he's talking about my hat.
Oh, you never wear a hat. Oh yeah, you do.
I wear a hat in every video. No. That hat. Are you talking about my hat or his hat?
You're talking about the one with the
yeah. I wear that hat in every video. I bought it and I wore it on the first trip. And the reason I wear that hat is because it covers my ears and I can pull the top over my eyes when I go to bed. So the only bit that's showing is this little bit here. But to answer the question, my hat is in my bag.
Where it should be. How's your night? Good, pretty good. Pretty good night. It's kind of hot in here.
Yeah, it's a little bit hot, but we got plenty of water. We've gone through that whole jug of water talking to you guys, man. I've already had to go to the loo once. Do you need to go to the loo? You alright?
No, I'm a machine.
Okay, good. Yeah, Matt's hat, yeah, my hat.
Katana Boy, yeah, we were talking about earlier. It's phenomenal, really. Like, we were saying about it.
10 out of 10 would do again.
Would do it 10 out of 10.
It's expensive, though, right?
Easy life.
Easy money, easy life.
Easy money, easy life. Yeah, it's hat kick.
I'm going to put that on my grave.
Yeah. Well, we did speak about earlier on in this stream, the Katana Boy. I mean, we could talk about it again a little bit, but basically we've found that it's just as better than using a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And less of a noisy and
just
it
has two blades. You can buy it in the really aggressive tooth and the finer tooth version, and you have the finer tooth version, I think, right?
Yeah, I have the sort of the mid-grade one, and it's just perfect, really.
We ripped up was it 1 or 2 birch trees?
We ended up ripping about like 6.
We ripped down on the last trip we came back for. We ripped up 6 dead standing birch trees, all with it, and one of them we ripped up a whole tree in literally 3 minutes. It's so quick and so little effort because the blade is so long. So you can just, if you knock yourself up a little bipod to rest them in, so you can do it.
Sawhorse.
Thing. That's a bipod. A sawhorse would have 2 bipods together.
Sorry,
But just so you can do it at chest level. Super simple.
Yeah, it was really easy, and I think probably we spent half an hour doing all of it, and it was all done.
Yeah,
and
easy. It was so easy. I would recommend it. About any of the silky saws.
Would recommend.
Yeah. When is the stove going to go in the treehouse? Next winter.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that's it. Ruben's at school now. And he has this propane tank that we're gonna turn into a stove. And so we just need to find some time where he's free, where we can go up there and get the welder out and weld it all up and get it together, basically. So we'll try and find some time in the summer to get that done, and then that it should go in before winter, hopefully, like autumn, fall.
Do you think you British boys could go out drinking Canadian?
I don't think they like us drinking them too much.
Well, some of them do.
Some of them do. Actually, they like it quite a lot. We don't drink that much anymore. We spent 5 years playing music
in a band, drinking daily.
Acting like rock stars when we were really just
pop stars,
not stars.
Yeah.
And
we kind of don't drink so much. Although it's like Where's Waldo, man? In every video, it's like, find the can of Pabst Blue Ribbon that's somewhere in the shot. Is it breakfast? Is it dinner? Is it the middle of the day? There's a can of Pabst Blue Ribbon somewhere in the shot.
So yeah, we could used to be able to drink with properly, but now
not so much.
I get like hammered off 2 beers.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a lightweight. I don't drink. You know that. Well, maybe 3.
I say 3.
Let's say 3, just so I look a bit more.
Did you find a sharpener? I wasn't looking for one, so it would have been strange if I did.
Can you fill us in on that?
Maybe I said I need to find a sharpener at some point.
Oh, right. Okay.
Thanks, WM. I'm glad you're enjoying our videos. That's awesome to hear.
Would you recommend talking or not talking on YouTube? I think it depends.
It's a good question, isn't it? Because Primitive Survival doesn't talk, and Bushcraft Bear, who is a very up-and-coming Bushcraft channel, he went to like 10,000 subs in like a month, and I was kind of like, oh man, he didn't talk. And then I was like, maybe I shouldn't talk. And then I was like, there's no way that could happen. There's no way. There's no way I'd be able to do it.
I think it depends on the viewer. You know, some people really like watching just the action and happening, and then some people want to have a bit of an interaction and personability with the people involved in it. So I guess there's kind of people hitting both sides of the thing, and it's up to you whether you think you're
a talker or not. I'd say this: if you're quite camera shy and monotone and kind of like, today we're gonna be doing this.
If you're still with us, what would you do? What would you suggest?
Yeah, what would you suggest? I have to say though, because I watch some of them, and sometimes when they don't talk, I find I'm like super like involved in what they're doing, like I'm really there. And then some of the ones that I watch where there's no talking, I just find it really bleak and it's kind of like uninviting. So it's up to you, man. Maybe do some split testing and test out which videos do better. Sharpener for the saw. I don't think there is a. You can probably buy a file.
Yeah, you can buy a file for it. No,
you probably have to get a very small triangle file just to file the edge of the tooth.
You can do it. And I think probably I could I probably think I think I could do it with my diamond blade on my. You know, if I had to, in a pinch on my Leatherman, there has a nice little diamond.
I think you could
on here, and I think if you had to, you could do it like that. So there's always little, and always carry that with me because it's so useful.
No way. That's where we're going camping, man. That's hilarious. Rain Dance is going to be at David Thompson Resort in
August. We're going to be there in August.
Oh, you're going to be there at the Celtic Festival. That's like a week before, man. Near Nordegg.
Dude.
That's crazy, man. We might be exactly where you're going to be, but like a week after. I think we're there like the 25th
right
of
at
August.
Right at the end.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
As an American, I don't understand all these bushcraft YouTubers making bannock. Is that a Canadian thing?
Well, as a woman,
speaking as a mother,
I have to say I don't know. I just saw people doing it, and I was like, I have to do it now.
It's Ray Mears, man. It's like that's where I got it from, and the guy's a living legend.
And I saw Scrambled O doing a video, and he was like, I don't really like bannock, to be honest. And then I was like, wonder what bannock is. But we made the next Bushcraft breakfast.
It's not a banana hammock.
The next Bushcraft breakfast episode, which will be going out probably not this Friday coming, but the Friday after that, we made quite possibly the best bannock in the world. It's a savoury bannock, and oh my god, we did it on the live stream. If you checked out the last live stream, oh my gosh, it was so good.
It was really tasty.
Yeah, fine.
I have a Lansky blade. Cool.
Yeah, that would work.
What
That would work too for sharpening.
What knife and equipment do you use? Well, talk. Joe says talk. So that's the law. Get on there and talk. He's talking about.
Yeah, Joe Robinette. He's the biggest Bushcraft YouTuber out there. If he says talk, man.
Man of few words, though, aren't you, Joe?
Yeah. Talk. You should just do that on your next video. Just be like, talk.
Just be like, hey. Joe here.
Signing off.
Do you know Scrambled O? Yeah, we know Scrambled O. We talk about him way too much, to be fair.
Yeah. Lots of shout-outs going his way. He's doing lots of live streams too at the moment.
Joe has spoken on the Talk No Talk thing. Oh, Joe, it must be pretty wild.
What's it like, Joe? Can you summarize what it's like having a YouTube channel that's blown up to 750,000 subscribers? No, sorry, 250,000 subscribers. Like, what's that like? Do you just get constant comments like every minute of every day?
It sounds like Joe likes to talk. It's true. Can you guys do a trip to Jasper? It's on my bucket list. I would love a video. Yeah, Matt. Did you? No, you were in Canmore, weren't you?
Canmore, which is not too far away.
Not too far away, but yeah, Jasper's real close, so yeah.
The video I did on dog sledding in the videos list, that was in Canmore, which is about an hour away from Jasper.
But it wasn't like a Bushcraft.
No, it wasn't Bushcraft. It was dog sledding. It was fun though. No one watched it though because it's not very Bushcraft, but it was fun. It was fun.
I like watching Joe's dog scout steal Joe's firewood.
Yeah.
It always makes me laugh every time.
Every time.
He's like, Bud.
Cut it out, Scout. Cut it out, Scout.
Get out the shot, Scout. You guys watch DBK? Yeah, I actually really like DBK.
I do too.
Do
your impression.
They crack me up. I love it how he's always like, I'm not on drugs, honestly. I'm not on drugs.
Sounds like Sean Connery.
But like Mickey B does look like a little bit like he's on drugs, but it's like he's so funny.
They're really funny, actually. They're really refreshingly funny.
Yeah, like I like them.
I like that they're taking their videography in that direction too, of like making it just ridiculous. Yeah. It's fun to watch. We like them a lot.
Yes, they did blow up very quickly.
20,000 subs.
This is the thing. They've got like a whole niche going. It's like they've got a vibe that is very different and it's cool. Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yeah, I
like it too. Are you guys going to do classes with Joe? Ooh.
Joe, will you take us on a class? Because you're teaching now, right?
Will you teach me, Joe?
Will you teach us, Joe?
Will you teach us, Joe?
Joe,
we need to learn.
Needs to learn.
He'll be like, hey, Bo, hey, Matt, get out the shop. yeah. Stop stealing my firewood.
You're like, ba-bam!
Ray Mears is coming to the... Oh, I would love to meet Ray Mears.
What's the Temer...
I don't know. I don't even know, but like, if Ray Mears is coming...
I'm gonna Google it.
Shit. Cotton ball with petroleum jelly. Wait, what? Or fire steel. Oh, fire steel, man. Fire steel for me. I just love the satisfaction of setting things on fire with a fire
cotton
steel.
balls with petroleum jelly are not exactly growing on trees, so to speak.
Yes. It's not crafted so much from the bush. I am going to go and do... it's surreal. I bet it is, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and forge some steel strikers with a buddy of ours called Martin. And then make some Armadoo, and I would like to do some more kind of like that, like proper traditional
That's in Ontario.
Flint and steel and classic tinder fire starting.
Yeah, that's
on my list of things to get done. I really want to get more of that kind of stuff done. We have spent so much time shifting to get to this place where we have a solid place to go and actually have the time to
practice
some of these more
not just endless
bushcrafty things. Yeah.
So the Temagami Canoe Festival is in Ontario.
How close is that to you, Joe?
Yeah, because he's in Ontario for sure.
Go and meet Ray. And give him a kiss on each cheek from me and Matt.
Yeah. This is from Bushcraft Heroes. Who?
We'll send you some bannock and you give it to him.
Yeah. Some special homemade bannock.
Yeah. I recently watched Dave Canterbury make a 10th century Itravit out of a piece of carbon bar steel.
I'm Googling it.
Yes.
Or do you know what that is?
I'm gonna get into. I mean, I would really like to, when I'm sort of resident here, get into knife making or sort of doing bladesmithing of some sort, because it just fascinates me so much. I really enjoy working with metal. I like working with wood, but I also really enjoy working with metal and making stuff like that. So maybe sometime in the future, that would be something we would do as well. I've made a couple of knives out of an old saw blade, and they're like super, rudimentary Budgeons core, but they were fun. It was really fun to make, and I only spent about an hour on them making them in total. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, we watched Scrambled O's Exactly How to Sharpen a Knife video, and it cracked us up too.
Yeah, one of my favourite comments on it was like, "How did you get Joe Robinette to come up behind you and give you a hug?"
Yeah, that was funny, stroking him and stuff.
Yeah. I would love to get out in the woods. Right, yeah, it sucks being in the city when you can't get out to places when you're in a super urban environment.
Just put your feelers out with all of your friends and family.
Yeah.
Just like, does anyone we know own a piece of land where I can practice this stuff? And then once you find somewhere, just keep asking around to try and find somewhere better.
And kind of sweeten up the people too, like,
buy a bottle of wine.
Yeah, or if they're, like the farmer that we know, I'm going to bring him some ammunition for his rifle and, just whatever. Just something sweet that they might be able to use just to, I don't know, keep things, like, nice. Between, just keep them sweet. There was something about, primitive oven in your treehouse site. Yeah, we will at some point. We've spoke about that already.
Yeah, in summer. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen for sure.
Build a clay oven.
Made a knife out of an old file. Yeah, files work too. You can make them out of files, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm going to make a flint and steel striker out of a file that I have. But yeah, you can make knives out of that for sure too.
Yeah, sirens in the background. Someone's doing something leagues. As a new bushcrafter and new to adult life, I'm only subscribed to 2 channels, Joe and you guys.
Oh.
That's very sweet. You should subscribe to Scrambled O though.
I think we must be so far behind, like with the actual stream.
Yeah. They're coming for you.
10 hour away I may go. Yes, you should go, Joe. To the That's like a.
When
that's
is
like
it? It's
That's a quick drive for you, innit, bud?
10 hours in Canada is just down the road, mate. When is it? Contact sponsors. I'm not looking into that. That would be cool, man. I'd love to meet Ray Mears. We should do a Bushcraft Heroes holiday.
We should, but like using up my.
Yeah. Oh, July 15th and 16th this year.
Excuse me.
Okay, lol bannock. Survival Lily made a nice earth oven. Yeah, nice to see you, Joe. Take it easy, man.
See you later, Joe. Yeah, we should probably peace too.
Yeah, I think we probably should, because we've been here for like 2 hours now.
Yeah, we had a bit of some issues, but we sorted that out. It was really cool.
Probably mine doing drugs. I mean, not doing drugs, though. One of my favorite.
No, it's Mickey B's. Mickey B's on the drugs.
Yeah.
I'm not on drugs, honestly.
Not illegal drugs, anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe painkillers.
Fake sneeze? No, for reals, man. For reals. Whew.
Alright.
Right. Cool. Wicked.
Fair play.
Yeah, fair play. Thanks, Trevor.
So I think we're going to wrap this up, guys. Any last questions you have, chuck them in the comments now, and we'll
We'll
Just
try.
answer them
We'll do a
quickly.
Q&A, or we'll do another one next week.
Yes, that is the other thing. We're going to do this, for the moment, we're going to do this weekly on Tuesday evenings at 6:30 MST. So
Tell all your homies about
tell all
it.
your homies about it, yeah. And prep up some more questions if you've got any more questions for us for next time.
And keep on bushcrafting.
Awesome.
Much love.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, guys. It's been great. We've had a great time. Thanks for all your awesome questions. And we'll see
You next
time.
week. Oh, damn.
And we'll see
You next time.
Adios. All right. Peace, guys. See you next time.